Best guitar strings. Strings are often an underappreciated part of our guitars. They play an important role in how well a guitar feels to play, how well it stays in tune, and most importantly, how good it sounds. As strings age, their tone tends to dull, and that glassy, crisp sound that was once so present will fade into a duller and warmer tone. Too often, we as guitarists neglect this, buying expensive guitars only to have the sound marred by old strings we are too lazy to change. So today, we are taking a look at 10 stellar string sets so you can always have a fresh set ready to go at a moment's notice. Ernie Ball Regular Slinky. If you were tasked with visiting a music store to buy a set of strings for a guitarist but had absolutely no knowledge of the instrument, these strings would offer a safe option that's appropriate for most players. This is one of Ernie Ball's best-selling string sets and is used and trusted by many very high-profile musicians. Because of their popularity, they are always readily available and come in a convenient array of string gauges in case you need something other than the standard 10 to 46. Plus, it also comes in sets of 3, making it great value for money to boot. Ernie Ball Nickel Super Slinky. Another great all-rounder set, but this time with a slightly thinner 9-gauge top string, making certain techniques such as bends or vibrato a little less strenuous on the fingers. Likewise, the low 42-gauge string will add some additional bite and snap when picking hard during your rhythms. Many people may begin playing a thicker set and then decide to try thinner strings on a whim, only to discover that they really like the feel and tonal qualities those sets bring to the table. Many musicians, even in heavier styles of music, swear by thin strings. The Super Slinkies are something that everyone should try at least once. You don't know if you'll like it until you've tried it. D'Addario EXL 110 Nickelwound. D'Addario are of equal popularity to that of Ernie Ball, with their EXL Nickelwound series being their standard go-to set, and as such have the same incredible versatility. These strings are a relatively safe buy, with the nickel winding giving it a bright and lively sound that will work well for both clean and distorted tones. D'Addario always put a lot of effort into ensuring their strings have longevity and retain their tone for as long as possible. And this extends to the packaging, so you can easily stock a few of these sets up for future use. It's a standard, light gauge string set which makes it appropriate for anything in the D and E range. Ernie Ball Burly Slinky Nickelwound. Aptly named, the Burly Slinky set is similar to the Super Slinky set in so much as it has the same nickel-plated steel winding around the carbon steel core, which provides that same snappy and bright tone that so many guitarists are looking for. The main difference with this set is that the string gauges are quite a bit thicker than normal, which makes them ideal for down-tuning your guitar. The low 52 is easily able to handle drop D. This set might also be appropriate if you are using a short-scale guitar where the strings will naturally be a little more floppy, so increasing the string gauge is a great way to compensate for this. GHS 7-string Boomers. These days, the 7-string guitar is a very common sight, with many people playing them exclusively or even choosing one as their first ever guitar. Due to this increased popularity, there is also an increased demand for 7-string sets. GHS offers one of the best value for money 7-string sets on the market. It's a fairly standard nickel-plated 9 to 42 set, but with an added 58 to accommodate the low B. Another unique way people like to use these sets is to tune a 6-string guitar down, throw away the high 9, and use it as an 11 to 58 set with a wound 4th string. D'Addario NYXL Nickelwound. The NYXL series of strings are one of the newer players on this list and are considered the creme de la creme of strings. A little more expensive than some of the other brands, these strings are the fruits of much engineering and research efforts from D'Addario. Offering a new break-resistant carbon steel core that provides not only increased security from string snaps, but also increased tuning stability due to their high resilience. These are designed for the modern player, and as such have an enhanced mid-range to help your guitar stand out amongst the other musicians in your band. GHS Boomers. The Boomers from GHS are their main flagship product, featuring the tried and true steel core with nickel-plated wrapping, giving it that iconic, snappy tone and response. And while a little darker than something like Darrell, they still offer plenty of glassy top end for you. A lot of effort has been put into the packaging to make it resistant to corrosion, ensuring the tone remains intact even if you store the strings for some time. This is ideal as these strings can come in a batch of 6 sets, offering great value for money, and you can keep them for a long time. Ernie Ball Cobalt Slinky. While not quite as popular as the steel and nickel-plated ones, Ernie Ball's Cobalt strings are still very popular, offering all the same protective packaging and quality we expect from the company. The benefit of Cobalt strings is that they provide a stronger magnetic relationship towards the pickups. This makes them a little bit louder when amplified, have a little more high end and brightness compared to the nickel, and some say there is an added depth to the tone. While not everyone is sold on this idea, Cobalt strings definitely have their place amongst guitarists, with some people swearing by them. DR Strings Dimebag Darrell Signature. Although Dimebag has now tragically left this world, his impact and influence on rock and metal guitarists burns as brightly as ever, with many still regarding Dime's tone to be the gold standard of high-gain sounds. DR Strings' signature Dime set is not just a marketing tool, they are a very functional and reliable set that many have come to use as their primary strings, boasting everything a metal player could ask for: stability when doing those ripping bends, good feedback when playing those heavy, chugging riffs. They have also been treated to ensure they retain their tone for as long as possible. Darrell ECG23 Flat Wound. One of the more unique and niche areas of the guitar string market, flat wound strings are named as such because the winding that is wrapped around the string's core gets flattened, making the string's surface smooth. This offers a couple of differences over the regular wound strings where the texture is still present. Firstly, the string squeak you will sometimes hear when changing position is alleviated. Secondly, the overall tone is a little bit warmer and fuller, which makes them very popular amongst jazz players. Lastly, the pick attack is somewhat reduced due to the pick being able to glide over the smoother surface.